Um, I was asked to speak a little bit about our ASEA Redox supplement and Redox Gold. So that's what I'm going to focus on this evening. And I plan on leaving a little bit of time for questions. Again, I appreciate you guys being on and spending this time with me. You've made the investment to be here listening, so I want to make sure that all of your questions are answered. Um, I work with the science team. I work with the production manufacturing teams, the medical professional board. So I spend a lot of amazing time with this technology. And really the part that gives meaning to what we do is the idea that there are people all around the world dependent upon this technology to achieve their health goals. And it truly is life-changing for people all around the world. So ASEA is engaged as being a force for good in the world, not only through our culture, not only through our opportunity that we provide, but in our products. Our products are truly powerful and help people. So it's something that really brings meaning to my work and really keeps me motivated. And that kind of goes into the first slide. The entire mission of ASEA is to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world. Again, we do that through our opportunity, through our culture, and through our products. Um, and the idea of achieving that is to do it through our vision. And that is to become the global recognized leader in cellular health and redox-based technologies. And we've largely achieved that on the redox side. We are the leaders in redox, which is why we invest so heavily into research to continue to improve the product, the processes, as well as establish the mechanisms of action or how the product works in the body at the university level. We have university partners all around the world that are studying our products and working to publish science to advance redox-based technologies worldwide. Um, and really, at the core of our technology is this idea of balance at the cellular level. Our bodies are exposed to stress thousands of times a day. Um, whether it's poor food, whether it's pollution, whether it's too much sun, our body is exposed to a physiological or a physical stress thousands of times a day. And anytime we're exposed to stress, in order to maintain balance, our body has to respond to that stress. At the cellular level, there are two primary ways of doing that. There is a reduction function and there is an oxidation function. And the body needs to be able to do both in order to maintain balance. In the industry of health and wellness, we've heard a lot over the past 2 decades at this point about antioxidants. Take your antioxidants, take your antioxidants. Antioxidants are good. Antioxidants are important to maintain health and wellness. And that's true, but it's only part of the story. The body has to be able to respond, like I said, in both directions. And an antioxidant is just another word for a reductant or something capable of aiding reduction. There's another function in the body that is oxidation, and balance depends on both. So I like to illustrate this using a balance beam. And imagine I'm sitting in the center of this balance beam. If I am exposed to stress, that stress is going to knock me off balance. When I'm knocked off balance, what must I do? I must respond to get back into balance. So the body responds to get back into balance, and it uses a signal that every cell recognizes and produces itself, called a redox signaling molecule, to do so. Now, there are a ton of effects of imbalance on the body, which is why we're addressing it at the cellular level using our products. Low energy production, slow recovery, a weak immune system, waste removal suffers when there's imbalance. Your body's not able to remove the waste from your body because of imbalance. and then aging. Aging is caused by imbalance on the body. So balance is extremely important at the cellular level, and your body already knows how to achieve balance, but it's missing the signal that it needs to tell it to respond. Um, Anti-aging is a major segment of health and wellness right now. And I want to illustrate this idea of aging um, through imbalance using a metaphor of a city. Imagine a city that communicates well. Within this city, there are power plants, there's waste removal systems, there's infrastructure, and there's information and coordination, right? Um, a city that is able to communicate well is a city that's able to keep up on repairs and the city thrives. But if the system breaks down because of a lack of communication, then the city begins to fall into disrepair. Imagine if there was a city who did not have a communication system for roadside cleanup or for the police or the fire department. If there was an accident in the road, but nobody was called to clean it up, there would be a permanent backup in the road. If there was a fire in a building and nobody called the fire department, well, that building would burn to the ground. What about waste removal? If there was no signal to call the garbage truck to remove waste from the street, then waste would accumulate in the street. And in any of these scenarios, it's easy to see that a city would fall quickly into disrepair without the signal. In much like the city, your cells are constantly communicating what function or what system needs to be working based on what stressors they're being exposed to. So cells respond to stress and establish balance through signals and communication. Without cell signals, the system breaks down. So much like that city is well managed through communication, a cell is also well managed through communication. Again, that city that doesn't have an ability to call when there's a problem will break down. A cell that doesn't have an ability to call when there's a problem will also break down. And this introduces this idea that we call cellular intelligence. Um, ASEA's patented technology boosts your body's own cellular intelligence to maintain balance at the cellular level. When I talk about cellular intelligence, what I mean is that your body already possesses the tools. It already knows how to function in a way to maintain your own health and wellness. We're not adding anything foreign to the body with this technology. This technology is simply signaling the body or communicating with the body to wake up those natural functions that the body already knows how to do, but is not hearing the call to do them. Again, it's all about the signal. And ASEA's products focus the technology focuses on adding signal to the system so that the system can function as it was intended to. And those redox signaling molecules are that signal. So redox signaling molecules are made using our patented electrochemical process with over 1,000 trade secrets protecting this process at this point. We are the only company that is capable of stabilizing these high energy, unstable molecules that are the exact same ones that your body makes. The problem is that these bioidentical molecules, again, native to the body, as you begin to age, as you become older, your body makes less and less of them. And so your body doesn't make enough of these signals. And what happens is the body falls into imbalance or disarray because of the lack of communication that's happening. Again, think about the city. If the city's phone lines were cut or there were a limited number of phone calls that could be made in a city, it could easily fall into disarray. It would be harder to manage that city with less phone calls. Your cells, as you age, are making less phone calls. They're signaling less. Until ASEA developed its technology, there was nothing that could be done about that. But now with the ASEA redox supplement, you can add more of these redox signaling molecules on a daily basis and increase that signal so that your body's function is restored. And this is an area of science that continues to grow and quite frankly explode in popularity. Redox signaling was first recognized as a field of study in 1998 when the Nobel Prize was awarded to a study that discovered the molecule nitric oxide acting as a signaling molecule in the cardiovascular system. If you look at the number of studies that have been performed since that award, there have been massive, massive growth in the number of redox studies from then to today. It's a burgeoning area of study. It's something that's really exciting to see. As the leaders in redox, the scientific community now recognizes the importance of redox in the body. Here's the breakthrough, right? The scientific community has known about redox signaling molecules for a long time. The challenge with redox signaling molecules is like any signal, they require energy. So these redox signaling molecules are high energy molecules. And as a result, they are by nature unstable. The breakthrough of ASEA is not that we can create them in the first place, but that we can stabilize a solution of redox signaling molecule to allow supplementation. That is the breakthrough, is that the redox signaling molecules are suspended in a stable solution. And when using the product, this boosts your cellular intelligence. Again, that innate ability to respond, repair, adapt at the cellular level according to the needs of the cell through communication, again, through those signals. This technology is backed by multiple certifications. Our facility is listed with the FDA, meaning our facility, when we set up shop in Pleasant Grove, Utah, we reached out to the FDA, sent them our contact information, sent them our business information, sent them information about the product, and said, if you would like to visit us or have any questions, this is how you could get into contact with us. They have since audited our facility twice, and both times the FDA auditor has been very pleased with what they've seen. They've given us great compliments, and even had suggested that our team could teach how to be ready for an FDA audit, which was something that we were really happy to hear. On a yearly basis, we're audited by the NSF, who audits us against GMP standards, which is short for good manufacturing practices. The NSF issues in a letter grade every year at the end of the audit, with A being high and F being low. Since we've been in this building in Pleasant Grove, we have only ever received an A letter grade from the NSF. Again, we hold ourselves to a very high standard. We are the leaders in redox signaling molecules and redox technology. We have to represent that technology well. So we hold ourselves to a very high standard. And so these audits always go very well for us. The other thing that NSF does for us is they issue a sports certificate. This is important for athletes. Athletes who are at the top of their arena in whatever sport that they're competing in are very concerned about disqualification if they are taking a product that has banned or illicit substances in it. The NSF Sports Certificate certifies that our products do not have any of those banned or illicit substances. So athletes can take our product confidently, knowing that they won't be punished or disqualified for using our products when they're competing in their sport. We also have kosher and halal certificate, as well as certificates from the state of Utah, which allow us to, sorry guys, my dogs are barking. We also have certificates from the state of Utah that allow us to export our product. Again, ASEA does business in over 35 countries around the world. And so those certificates from the state of Utah allowing us to export our product over state and international lines is super important. We also have certificates through our third-party test partners. So BQC is a lab in Spain that is globally recognized as an expert lab in redox testing. They validate the presence of redox signaling molecules in our product. Eurofins does safety testing. Eurofins is an internationally recognized lab that has done toxicology testing and mutagenicity testing on our product. Eurofins has found multiple times that our product is 100% non-toxic and 100% non-mutagenic, meaning it does not change the genetic sequence in an individual. Can lead to a whole host of problems. And so Eurofins has found that our product is completely safe, and BQC certifies that the redox signaling molecules are present in all of our products. The ASEA breakthrough has been an amazing thing. 38.5 million bottles sold over 15 years, not a single serious adverse event reported. Uh, and again, we talked about that non-toxic, non-mutagenic result. Our topical products have a 5-star safety rating, and we do stability and monthly testing on all of our product batches. Really, ASEA is at the forefront of the pursuit of cellular health, and we do that through our redox-based technology. Uh, Really, this idea of balance introduces a cellular harmony, and we achieve that through an internal or a cellular communication. It's done through the signal that we introduce through our redox signaling molecules that have been stabilized in our redox signaling molecule product. Um, that's kind of the core message behind redox signaling molecule is this idea of balance through communication. Communication needs a signal. Signal needs energy. The energy is provided by redox signaling molecules. When you supplement redox signaling molecules, you are adding high energy molecules to your body that are native to the body. Your body's already making these, but it doesn't make enough of them. So you're restoring the signal to allow your cells to communicate and thereby achieving balance. Okay, shifting gears here just really quick. We talked about the ASEA Redox supplement. I was asked to talk a little bit about Redox Gold. This is our most recent Redox product. It was an amazing breakthrough for us. A ton of work went into the development of this product, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Um, this is an easy statement. Your health is everything. All of us are pursuing better health. We want better health for our families. We want better health for our friends. Anybody that we care about, we're interested and invested in their health. Your health on a macro scale, your body's health is dependent upon your cellular health. Your cells send signals to each other. Again, we just covered this with the ASEA Redox product. Those signals to fight stress, to recover, and to achieve balance. Those signals, again, are sent by redox signaling molecules. The redox signaling molecules, I said that they're native to the body, but these redox signaling molecules are made within the mitochondria of the cell. The mitochondria doesn't just produce ATP as energy for the body. Redox signaling molecules are also produced as a part of that process within the mitochondria. So these are the same redox signaling molecules that are produced within the mitochondria of the cell. With that pollution, the processed food, the poor sleep, all of those stressors of modern life, your cells, again, we talked about, can't make enough of this signal, which is really at the core of the discussion that we just had around the ASEA Redox supplement. And that's to help achieve balance. But we've developed something that has really supercharged this idea of restoring balance at the cellular level. Um, and that's Redox Gold. What we've done is within Redox Gold, we've created a stable formula and infused it with redox or with molecular gold to target specific communication pathways. So imagine now in the city, rather than simply increasing the total number of phone calls you can make, maybe I am boosting the cell service in a specific area of that city or for a specific function or a specific team within that city. That's what the gold does, is it focuses the redox signaling molecules to specific pathways. And in this case, they are the specific pathways that lead to enhanced recovery and relief. In fact, in our university studies, we saw the boost in the NRF2 pathway. The NRF2 pathway is one of those primary pathways that the body uses to address stress and inflammation. And you see up to 160% increase over the control with Redox Gold. Again, 160% increase is a massive, massive increase because of the NRF2 pathway being so large and broad in its scope. If you increase that pathway by that percentage, it does amazing things for recovery. One of the things that come out of the NRF2 pathway is glutathione. Glutathione is a master antioxidant. Think of it as a bodyguard for your cells. Um, if you take a look at this, within healthy cells, we increase glutathione levels with this product by 70%. And the increase on a compromised cell or an unhealthy cell, we increase glutathione by over 280%, nearly restoring it to 100% of baseline healthy cell. So amazing results with this. Again, the NRF2 pathway and the glutathione being primary responses to inflammation and stress in the body, which helps you recover faster. Here are some thermographic images showing before on the top line and after. In thermographics, in elevated temperature of skin at a localized level is representative of stress in that area. What you can see is a drastic reduction in temperature, showing a reduction in stress within that area after the application of gold. And this is just a single application, 15 minutes after. So Redox Gold has been a breakthrough product for us. Totally changed the way that people recover. I use it almost every single day after the gym. I have found that I recover faster. I'm able to go to the gym more often during the month. I'm able to work harder when I'm in the gym. It's something that I've been really, really happy with the results that I've seen. And it's been an amazing product for people that suffer from discomfort, and for those looking to get more out of recovery. So two really amazing products here. The ASEA Redox supplement, which really works through the entire system, right? It works to really serve as that foundation to boost cellular communication throughout the entire body. And then on top of that foundation, you can layer Redox Gold when you're focused on alleviating discomfort or if you're looking to boost your recovery when you're in whatever pursuits that you're finding. So that's it for my PowerPoint. I want to say thank you so much for being here on the call. I don't know if we have time for question and answer, if we want to do that on the call, or if we would like to do that another time.
Yes,
Anna, are
we
you?
can have a few minutes for a few questions. In fact, on the chat, in the chat, that is already one by Fanny. How can we scientifically prove that redox signaling molecules are actually present in the ASEA redox? Many people believe that redox signaling molecules are too reactive to be stabilized or maintained outside the human body. So, what analytical methods or independent scientific evidence can demonstrate this presence?
Yeah, so I pointed to this evening. Is the first one is the BQC certification. BQC is a third-party laboratory that verifies that the redox signaling molecules are in our products. That's why you have the BQC seal on the label. Again, depending on the country, it may not be there just from regulatory purposes. Um, but that's the first one is BQC tests all of our products to verify the presence of redox signaling molecules. The next one is all of our university research. If you look at the facts panel or the nutrition panel on the back of our bottle, it says salt and water. We use salt and water to make redox signaling molecules. If you were to subject cells or to have people drink salt water, you wouldn't see the drastic increase in NRF2. You wouldn't see the increase in glutathione. So there's further evidence that the redox signaling molecules are there. The reason that we don't publish a test method, let's say, for anybody to go out and test for redox signaling molecules is that test methods are largely specific to specific species or specific compounds. Um, our competitive advantage at ASEA is the fact that we're the only ones able to stabilize these redox signaling molecules in a unique distribution of redox signaling molecules, um, identical to that of the cells. If we were to publish what redox signaling molecules are in there, we would almost certainly have companies trying to create that same mix and to compete with us. So if we release a test method for anybody to go out and test these, they'll be able to know exactly what redox signaling molecules and how much of each one are in each of our products. And so we do that to protect the competitive advantage and to protect ASEA's uh, business. So what we've done instead is partnered with third-party laboratories like BQC, Eurofins, and the university research labs where we're doing research around the world. Hopefully that helps.
Okay, any more questions from the floor? All right, if there's no questions, then we shall adjourn the meeting. And once again, thank you very much. Oh, I think there's one just came in last minute. Let's see what's that. Okay. How long do the redox signaling molecules remain stable and active after the bottle is open? Does exposure to the air, light, or temperature affect the stability and effectiveness? Hmm. Yep.
Yeah, good question. The when the bottle is opened, the stability of the product doesn't change. The shelf life of the bottle is the shelf life of the bottle, whether it's been open once or whether it's remained shut. Um, the answer to your question can be somewhat technical. Obviously, there is some sensitivity to light or temperature, um, but the stability of the product is so good now that as long as you don't see steam coming off of the surface of the product, it remains stable. So don't boil it, don't put it in the microwave. As long as you're not doing those things, it's stable in a temperature range that it could ever be exposed to in nature. So when we ship it on a container on a barge over to Asia in the summertime, it's very hot, right? Sometimes 40, even 50 C in that container. We have tested the product numerous times and seen that it's stable at that temperature. The only time that you begin to see breakdown is when the product begins uh, to evaporate. You start to see steam coming off of the surface. So simply don't heat it and it will be stable, whether you've opened the bottle or not. Hopefully, once you've opened the bottle, you won't have it for that long because you're taking it every day. So shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Right. There's another question. Can redox water help in tissues that had undergone radiation?
Yeah, so it's a tough question because again, just to clarify, uh, redox products are not pharmaceuticals. They're not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. What I will say is that we talked about recovery today, right? In order for the cells to recover and to achieve balance, they need a signal. And certainly the signal is interrupted with radiation. And so restoring that signal can only help.
Thank you, Hunter. Sorry, I don't understand, Felicia, your question. What do you mean by can redox double boil? Sorry. And then let's skip to the other question, which is anything about thorax labs. What about that? Hmm.
I'm not sure what you're asking about with Torrey Labs, but yes, we
Yeah.
have done a study in 2017 with the Torrey Labs that showed that the genetic transcription of certain functions are boosted when individuals are on redox signaling molecules, and then when they go off them, those genetic transcriptions return to baseline. So we see that redox signaling molecules through the Torrey Lab study in 2017 have a real effect on genetic expression. And again, that's because of signaling. So the genetic functions that our body needs to do to maintain our health and wellness and really closely tied to longevity, Torrey Labs showed us that redox signaling molecules boost the activity of those genes.
Okay. And I think the last question will be how about RSM being near a phone or an item with radiation?
There's no item of radiation that you're going to have in your home that's going to be strong enough to destroy redox signaling molecules. Um,
Mm,
uh, Perhaps some sort of medical device in a hospital that emits a high level of radiation, some sort of X-ray or something like that could, but highly unlikely. And anything that you're going to have in your home or as part of any normal day life will not destroy the redox signaling molecules.
right. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. I think that's about all for the questions. Thank you again, Hunter, for your questions and great sharing. We learned a lot from you tonight. Thank you. And I hope a great day for you ahead.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great
Thank
night.
you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Good night.